Some people just don't understand the meaning of private property, and some Karens don't understand the meaning of law enforcement. Let me set the scene. My name's Cole Wyatt, I'm 47, and I've served as county sheriff in our rural Texas district for the last 13 years. Before that, I was with the U.S. Marshals. Law, order, and land. Those are things I take seriously. My family has owned the same 76-acre ranch since 1908. It's not part of any development. No HOA, just open pasture, woods, and a big old red barn with my patrol truck usually parked out front. So imagine my confusion when I pulled into my own driveway one afternoon and was immediately greeted by flashing lights and a furious woman waving a phone in the air. There, that's the truck. That's the man I called about. Enter Karen Whitmore, HOA president from the neighboring subdivision that popped up a few years ago on land that used to be part of our ranch. The confrontation. I stepped out of my truck, hat still on, badge visible on my belt. Karen stormed across the property line, nearly tripping over a fence post. "You can't park that ugly cop truck here. This is a residential neighborhood." I raised an eyebrow. "Ma'am, this is my land. Been in my family for over a century." "Well, it's part of our HOA now. The boundary map's changed." Wrong. I walked her right to the steel gate that separates her subdivision from my pasture, where a private property sign hung, state-sealed and weather-worn. That's when the deputy she called finally pulled up. Only it was Deputy Hannah, my own team member. She stepped out, spotted me, and burst out laughing. "Sheriff Wyatt, what on earth?" "This lady called 911, I said, "because my patrol truck was lowering the value of her homes." Karen's eyes went wide. "Wait, you're the sheriff? That's a conflict of interest." "Only conflict here is you trespassing," I said calmly. The fallout. I filed a formal report on Karen's false 911 call. Not only is that a misuse of emergency services, but it could have pulled officers from an actual crisis. We later found out she'd been harassing other landowners near the subdivision, trying to bully them into joining her HOA and cleaning up their eyesores. So I did what any good sheriff would do. I got the county assessor and registrar involved. Turned out Karen's HOA had been distributing fraudulent boundary maps to new homeowners, falsely claiming control over adjacent properties. Yeah, that's a felony. Court, community, and consequences. Karen and her board were hit with multiple cease and desist orders, and the county fined the HOA over $75,000 for misrepresentation, harassment, and unlawful expansion. Karen lost her position, her reputation, and, from what I heard, her house. Several neighbors came to apologize to me in person, embarrassed by her antics. One guy even offered to mow the part of my property bordering the subdivision as a peace gesture. I declined but appreciated the effort. Justice served Texas style. A few weeks later, I hosted a local fundraiser cookout on the ranch. Brisket, cornbread, and kids riding ponies. We set up extra parking in the same spot Karen had complained about. This time, though, I put up a new wooden sign. "Sheriff parking only. Violators will be hugged by Karen." Needless to say, nobody parked there but me. Moral of the story: before you call the cops, make sure you're not calling them on the cops. Especially in Texas. Especially when the land you're whining about belongs to the sheriff.